And welcome back to our regular Wednesday, 1 p.m. Central segment, Patience with KV. That is the man in the middle right there. KV, what's up, Johnny? KV, you're not in your chair. Where are you? You're not in New York, are you?
Yeah, not in New York. Well, even if I was in New York, I'm actually moving apartments. I wouldn't be in my chair either. New office upgrade. We're doing a lot of changes recently. So, but currently right
Oh,
Nice.
now in Albania right now, and then going to London on Friday back again. So a little bit far away from home. It's what is it now? 8 p.m. here. So a
8
little bit
p.m.
different.
there.
I've been trading London session a little bit lately, just because it's early on here, so I don't have to wake up at 3 a.m. to trade out like back in New York. So
Well,
it's been a little bit different with the trading
let me
sessions
ask you
here.
about that. And I've always wondered this myself. Let me ask you about that. I've always had this dream or fantasy, if you will, about trading in Europe. Just because of the hours, you get a little bit more sleep. You get to trade in the entire
Yeah.
session, London and New York. How do you like trading out in Europe in terms of the hours?
Um, I like it and dislike it at the same time. Yes, you can trade more sessions, but I would say it gets a little bit tiring towards the end as well, because New York sessions opens up at 3:30 p.m. here. So
Right.
it's a little bit of a tricky situation, because you've just had lunch and it's that post lunch here, and you're kind of tired, you're sleepy a little bit. So I'm not sure if it works out the best to trade the New York session after having lunch. um
Makes sense.
I do like the afternoon session, though. I mean, it's night here, so you're calm. But London session, I would say, works the best. It's similar to trading New York session while in New York, right? You wake up, you have some breakfast, you're on the screens, and you're trading it. Do I recommend trading all sessions? Probably no, right? Probably it's a
It's a
bit
lot of
too
trading.
much. But as long as you're active, you're looking at charts, doesn't necessarily mean you're opening positions, but you're just watching for opportunities. If something comes by, why not take the risk, right?
I like that. That's very well said. All right, John. Wow, what a morning, what an afternoon, what a lunchtime trade, what an afternoon. We got the sell off, then we got the big V shape. I mean, that is a textbook V shape bounce right there. I'm doing it with my hands. I
Yeah.
don't have the charts up right now. That is a V shape. Now we're starting to sell off. What do you
Yep.
make of this, John? Did we hit a technical level here in the S&Ps or Nasdaq? What happened? Did the shorts get caught in the
Well,
hole there? I mean, we had a negative delta going into this, but boy, that was a really, really strong recovery, strong rally.
and we still do have negative delta, at least,
Do we
yeah, in the
really?
S&P and in the Nasdaq. If you look at this 30-minute chart here on the Nasdaq, or
Yeah.
on the S&Ps, excuse me, we haven't taken out yesterday's low, right? Yesterday's low was approximately, let's just call it 50.8875. When we did come down, I've got the 50, the 100, and 200 simple moving averages on this 30-minute chart. I tend to keep those on my charts just because they're very familiar to me. And when we hit that 100 session moving average on that 30-minute chart, it came in at 50.81. What was our low there? 50.82. So
Unbelievable.
that was I think enough to kind of scare some of the sellers, brought in some buyers. We haven't taken out the high of the session yet. We haven't even taken out the high of the opening range. If we look at the profiles, you're going to see that the market came all the way back up to the opening range, and that the afternoon pullback high right now is 51.16 half. 51.16 half. All right, well,
16
we'll keep an
half.
eye on that for future reference. The Nasdaq, was a little bit of a different situation. I don't have the moving averages on here just yet. The Nasdaq came down into yesterday's range. It took a long time for us to even get into the range from yesterday, and we showed acceptance inside value from yesterday. However, in the S&Ps, we completed the value area special situation play and then some. We have not yet completed the value area special situation play in the Nasdaq. Take a look at this on the chart.
Mhm.
We opening range, let's just call it for reference, 17,746. We looked higher. JD was looking for shorts. He was doing the
Right.
right thing there. We both agreed that the pullback that we've been going through for the last couple of days hasn't really been performing that well. So we were looking for opportunities to look for shorts. But the Nasdaq came down into the range from yesterday. Value high from yesterday, 17,650. Value low, 17,550. So about 100-point range there. It did not get to the low of the range from yesterday. So we're seeing the market in the Nasdaq. We never really got back to the IB low, the initial balance low, as we all know, is the first hour of trade. It got back, that IB low would be 17,711. 17,711. Where did we get up to? 17,705. We got within
Unreal.
6 points of it, six handles of it. We could not get there. My thought is this is just a vicious pullback. And I'm still, as long as we don't get back into the initial balance, and as long as we don't start, ratcheting higher, I think this market could tumble and come all the way back down and to take out or check to the value area special situation here in the Nasdaq of 17,550. That's a big move. Market funny things lately, and we could not get inside the initial balance again. That initial balance in 18,000 is something that's saying something to me. We can look at the profile in the S&P as well.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we did take out the single TPOs below the initial balance. We traded back to the opening range. We've been having trouble holding above the high of the day from yesterday in the S&Ps, which was 51,1275. It was a weak high. That's also the high of value. So as long as we stay inside of value and we don't continue this push to the upside, I could see this rolling back to the downside as well. These are just nuances, trying to keep things in context. Anything can happen. These are just kind of thoughts, not suggesting that anybody take any trades off of this. But that's just kind of the way I'm seeing things right now. And I have a question for KV, but Andre, I'm sure you have a kind of a regimen or some things that you want to kind of talk about and go through. Can I ask KV?
Yeah,
right now?
yeah. Oh, 100%, John. 100%, John. Go ahead.
Okay, excellent. So you're trading on the road, basically. Do you have some sort of a setup that you bring along with you? I mean, you're not in your normal environment with probably you've probably got fewer charts. You're in a different time zone. Have you done this a lot, or is this something that you're just trying for the first time? I think you do some good traveling, right?
Yeah, I do this a lot. I do this a lot actually, and it's a must to have the right setup because you need to feel as close as to your office as possible. Obviously, it's not going to be 100% the same, but to get as close as possible. So I travel with a laptop, and then I also have two portable monitors as well that I bring with me that you can just USB-C connect them. And it's similar to what I have at home. Obviously, things are a little bit smaller. It's not the big screens I have at the office, but I make it work. And I think sometimes I perform better, and I've been performing honestly better the past few days that I've been away just because there's less things that I'm looking at. So I'm more focused, I think. Whereas when I'm back home, I have charts here and charts there, and then I'm looking at this, and then this is driving attention and then taking attention away from this point. So this way, I'm a little bit more focused on what I'm looking at and a little bit more selective as well to what I actually want to put on these screens. So sometimes it works better just because of that. But yeah, just a monitor, two portable. Just a laptop, two portable monitors does the job. Doesn't have to be, you can just buy them on Amazon. It's pretty cheap. Just connect them with, your laptop, and they're good to go. The biggest thing obviously is that, and also having good internet connection as well. And I would say,
Sure.
places outside the United States, even in the UK, internet is not the best, honestly, compared to like what we have in New York or other places in the United States. It is, I don't know, it doesn't get close to I don't know, the speed or just being as reliable, in my opinion. So having good internet connection, either maybe you're at your hotel or Airbnb, Wi-Fi, but I'm also always having a plan B where I can have that 4G personal hotspot connection, right? So if something happens with the
Right.
Wi-Fi, I can just do that 4G through my phone, and it works. It works. But
Yeah.
yeah, um, it's
Good
it's a little
info.
bit
Can I
tough,
can I
right?
follow all that up with one question?
Sure.
When do you disconnect? When you travel, if you're trading all the time, when do you have time to do anything else?
It's like, for example, after I'm done with you guys, I'm going out. It's gonna be around 9 p.m. my time here
Ooh,
after I finish with you guys on TopstepTV. So I'm going out.
Going clubbing.
Um, it's a little bit tricky as well because before New York sessions, I was out for lunch as well. So I was getting as fast as I could back home because I had just finished lunch. I was eating outside, and so it's a little bit tricky, right? I mean, if you're managing time correctly, shouldn't be that bad, but you need an agenda. You can't just stare at the screens all day. You got to tell yourself, okay, I'm going to be trading during this and this hours, but then try and make your itinerary according to those hours as well. Because
mhm,
if you don't do that, you're just going to be, wasting time as well on the screens. But it's a little bit tough because again, time changes, and you have to, depending on where you're traveling. If you travel to Europe, you have to take more advantage of the morning because it's um, early morning or late night in New York, so there's not much happening. So take advantage as much as you can of that early morning up to New York session. So you wake up, you have lunch, and maybe until the afternoon, I'll take more advantage of that time. Unless you want to go out after 9 p.m., which is, or even 10 p.m. if you're waiting for the market to close at 4.
interesting.
That's
All right,
bedtime for
KV.
me. I'm not
Yeah,
going out at 9
KB,
o'clock.
we're not gonna
Yeah.
keep you a minute past our allotted time here. We do want you to be able to go out, hit the clubs, go get some dinner, have a night out in Albania, the mother country. Real quick, we have seen some selling coming here in the equities. Big sell, not big sell. S&P's down about 12
Yeah,
points
not big.
off its recent highs of 51.14. We are now currently trading 51.04, so down about 10 points there. Nasdaq seeing some selling there. Dow as well. We saw a pop in oils, which had me asking Eddie here behind the scenes, did you see a headline at all? Because you kind of see this sequence of events. We see crude pop. Typically, you'll see the gold pop as well, and then you see the equities kind of fall off to the downside in sequential order. We didn't really see that, so Eddie was looking, didn't see anything. If you do see something, please throw it in the chat. But guys, this is a volatile trade right now. There is movement. I don't know that you can just
Yep.
catch a trade and just ride it to the moon, so to speak. KV, how do you navigate this type of market environment? We are in earnings season. We are seeing volatility.
Yep.
We are kind of in a range. Granted, it is a wider range, but we are in a range. How do you attack an earnings season like this, where we do have the volatility, but we are in the range and we do have earnings? And let's not forget, we also have headlines coming across the wire from the Middle East. How do you navigate something like
Yep.
this?
And we also have PCE on Friday as well, which I think
Your
it's the
favorite?
main number this
Yeah.
week. We have GD tomorrow. I don't think GDP is going to do much, honestly. Um, PCE
It's
on
just an
Friday
estimate.
might do some things. Yeah, so let's see how it does on Friday. But yeah, it's volatile. Very interesting today though because we saw trends. We saw sell off and then a bounce as well at the zone in the, what was that, 17,580 on the Nasdaq. But
Yep.
keep in mind that it's a very slow grind higher and a very slow drop as well. You're not seeing one of those aggressive, can't except for this drop maybe here
This is
around,
yeah.
what is that, 11:41 New York time. Except
Hmm.
for that, there wasn't nothing crazy today. Very slow candles. It was slow, 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 slow. You have to be very patient, I would say, in this type of market. You can't expect those quick in and outs like we usually get. So um, I've even noticed myself holding positions for much longer, where I'm
Really?
more of a trader where sometimes I'm in and out within 1 minute candle in a 60-second time frame. It's not the case in this, especially these days like this. It's a very slow grind higher. You got to be comfortable seeing opposite candles as well, right? So if you're in a long, you got to be comfortable seeing those red candles as well come across, even if you're holding for a couple of minutes. Like we saw that on the move up. It's a very slow grind higher. If you're not patient enough, if you panic from the small pullbacks here, it doesn't work out. So um, in these scenarios, what I think helps best is understanding before you enter, like what your profit target is going to be and so on. Because if you overanalyze it, you're going to sell too early. because you're just overthinking it. You see a pullback, you're like, oh my God, maybe the move is over. But it's
Right.
just a pullback on this bigger trend, which again, it's been happening on the way up and it happened on the way down as well. I didn't like this drop. It's a nicely sized drop, but I didn't like it from when we broke the opening kind of range there around 10:35 or so. I didn't whatsoever. Too many pullbacks, too slow. I'm not a fan of it. So personally, I'm trying to be as much patient as I can. I'm also traveling, so I definitely sized down more this week just because um, I don't know. It's been working better, I would say, but I still size down. So it's obviously sizing down with what we talked about last week as well, because of the volatility, because of the unexpected news and unexpected earnings and so on. For people that do trade, stocks and options as well, definitely look at the earnings, guys. Did very good with Tesla this morning, which
Mm.
reported earnings last night. The money is flowing into those stocks, right? Flowing out, flowing in, doesn't matter. Volume is there. So keep those on the calendar, especially if you're trading Nasdaq as well, because we are and this week and next week as well. We have the top holdings for the Nasdaq as well reporting earnings. So there will be more volatile mornings. Okay, and sometimes it might be mixed as well, because you might have two big tech companies reporting earnings on the same day, or maybe one overnight, maybe one in the morning, but they will
Hmm.
still have that effect as the market opens. So if they have different
Mm-hmm.
movements, more than likely Nasdaq stays sideways, just because you have a big move up, a big move down, and there's a lot of volatility in those two. So the markets as well kind of stay in that range, which again, if you do get those different earning results and we're not getting a lot of one directional earnings, we might see a lot of sideways price action on the morning sessions for Nasdaq, at least the next 2 weeks.
That makes sense. All right, John, stop me if you heard this before. We're trading around 5100s in the S&Ps. It seems to be a big magnet there. I mean, there's got to be a lot of volume traded at that price. What do we do?
Yeah.
We are in the middle. This is the middle, pretty much. 5082 to the downside, 5124 to the upside, 20 points above, 20 points below. We are in the middle. What do we do? I mean, I'm guessing you're going to say we just got to wait and stay patient.
Well, I mean,
With this level in the S&Ps, what are we looking at here? This charts, we're all over the place. Right now, we are in the middle, taking a breather. What are you looking at?
me, I'm saying don't diddle in the middle.
Yep.
We had our opportunity on the extreme, which was the opening range in the S&Ps for an execution. We had an opportunity in the Nasdaq at not being able to reach the IB low. This was an opportunity here, but you were right, Andre. I mean, we're sitting here pretty much in the middle of the range, and so there's no asymmetric opportunity for me here. And what I mean by that is, if I buy it, my risk is to a new low. If I sell it,
Mm-hmm.
my risk is to close out those single TPOs below the initial balance. So there's no, you know, it, there's no asymmetric opportunity here, because the risk and the reward are exactly the same when we're sitting here in the middle of this range. We were talking about when um, when Brian Shannon was here.
Yeah.
We were talking in the chat about, if you wait for confirmation, it's going to cost you in trade location. And if we were looking for some sort of confirmation for the shorts on those recent highs in the equities,
Mm-hmm.
we've missed a good trade location. So
Yeah.
sitting right here, I'm not thinking about doing anything right now.
The way I look at it, if the people in the chat want some levels as well, for
Mm-hmm.
Nasdaq, which I'm looking
Please.
at right now, 620 is my interest zone. 620. If 620 doesn't hold for the Nasdaq, the way I look at this, more than likely we go back to day low. That's the biggest demand zone, or biggest support level that we have right now.
All
So
right, writing this down.
17,620. That
Yeah,
Writing
me
this
too.
down.
Me too,
six,
John. Believe me,
you know,
John. I am writing this down.
yeah, if that doesn't hold, it's more than likely to go back to day low. Now, if we do see a comeback, and we're trying to make a base here, not sure if it's just a short-term pullback like the last one here, but if we do
Mhm.
actually make a base here, and really see that push back to view up, wouldn't be surprised if we actually go for the opening price, which is New York session opening back to 731, because the zone here, which we're kind of trying to bounce, is strong as well. Look at the bounce that happened in the morning at 11:25, happened at the exact same level it's bouncing off right now as well, right? Which was previous
Mhm.
day close, right? Or what do you guys call it? Settlement, right?
Right.
Previous day close right there. That's where it bounced in the morning. Again, that was a short-term bounce. Not sure if it's going to be the same one right now, but it's reacting to it, and because it's reacting, it's a key level, right? So
Mhm.
I just want to see for another move higher. I want to see obviously this zone holding, and if you want to, another more confirmation, VO up, right? So we had the VO up fake out here, which
Mhm.
we kind of stayed above it, but then failed to push higher. The
Right.
second a move should be a more nicer move to the upside back to the opening price there. Volume is missing though. I mean, we're not seeing. We see this up and downs in volume as well. It's not something that's consistent with volume either. So um, let's see. I mean, right now, as Hoke said, it's at a new territory. I wouldn't take a long or a short right now, unless you might be, the type of trader that likes to open a starting position. The way I look at this right now, without any, candles in the next few minutes, you could open a starting position to the longs, but it's not. Nothing's confirmed right now. It's just a
Mhm.
pullback. I don't
Very
like to open
interesting.
starting positions. Either I'm in or I'm not in.
Yes. I know. So you did say that you get in and then scale out. You never scale into
Yeah,
positions, if I remember
I
correctly.
I only scale out.
Mhm.
Yeah, I only scale out
Yes.
because I have one entry point, but then I
Yeah.
might have multiple targets, right? I never have multiple entry points. It just I don't know. Again, there's traders who make it work. Just to me, I don't know. I can't make sense of that having multiple entry points.
Amazing. I think that's the beauty in
Unless
trading.
yeah, unless it's a long-term investment, which you might be
Sure.
going into a position for years and years and years. That's different, right? We're always buying stocks and
Right.
ETFs and all that. But
Right.
in terms of day trading,
And
I just can't wrap my head around that.
yeah, I find that,
Self-awareness.
longer term trading or investing, you're a lot less price sensitive, right?
Hmm.
You
Yep.
know, you're making a choice and you're just, you're buying in. Maybe you're a day trader on the day you invest, but if you're, looking to stick in something for a long time and an investment type of situation, price isn't as important as when we're day trading. We need good trade locations when we're day trading, right?
Yes, 100%, 100%, and it's more volatile as well. So, um, it can get very, very scary if you average in, average down, whatever you want to call
Yeah.
it.
Yes, it can.
And don't know how to manage a position properly, because it can get very, very for you, like if you're just, because if you have a plan maybe, but still, even if you have a plan, it's a little bit tricky. But if you don't have a plan and you're just averaging, averaging, it's like, when are you going to stop, right? It's like
Yeah.
you get
Right.
into that domino effect where, okay, maybe it's going to hold this level, I'm going to buy in more here. Okay, this broke, but maybe it's going to hold this level, let's buy in more here. Like, when does
KV, we
that
call
stop?
that
When
the
it goes
moron trade.
Yes.
Trade goes
like
against me, you
when
put more
does
on.
it stop? When it goes to zero? All right, so if it doesn't hold the level, it doesn't hold the level. For me, it's that simple. I'm not. I rather accept, like, for me, I rather accept the loss and re-enter when it gives me another confirmation than stay in a
Mhm.
big trade and start averaging it until it goes there. So I accept the first loss, and then if it gives me another confirmation, I just re-enter. It's simple. Like, why do I have to stay on hope here and hope bounces on this level, on this level, on this level, when I can
Mhm.
just cut the loss and re-enter on that position, where if we just cut the loss at the right time, when we do re-enter, you could probably make double or more,
Mhm.
because you cut at the right time, and now your targets, when they do get hit, you're making up for the loss as well. Just, I don't know, people don't like to accept that they're wrong, which is a big thing. I've been talking with a lot of our traders lately as well, and it's it's probably one of the
Nobody like
biggest things impacting traders right now.
nobody
One of
likes
the
to
biggest
admit that
things.
they're wrong. Nobody likes
Yeah,
that.
but it's, I mean, nobody
It's just
likes it,
human
but
nature.
you got to look at the bigger picture, right? If you don't
Mhm.
accept that you're wrong, you're not going to get that far either. So you got to
Right.
do what you got to do what most people don't want to do, and what's that saying? Do what's uncomfortable, and because if you just do what everyone else is doing, you're not going to succeed, right? I mean, 90% of traders, day traders, right, lose
Right.
money in the markets.
Mhm.
Obviously, it's different for long-term investments, but like day trading, you got to do something that other people out there are not doing, or have trouble doing, or are too lazy to do. You just gotta do what makes you uncomfortable, and that goes to a lot of things, journaling and all of it.
Mhm.
So,
Mhm.
and
Yeah.
sometimes like what's uncomfortable a lot is basically, when you're having a rough time trading, for example, the full contract minis on Nasdaq, switching to micros. Do you know
Uh-huh.
how difficult that is for some people to do? They're like, oh my God, but I don't want to trade micros.
Right.
It's not as much profits. But
It's an
you're
ego
only
thing.
switching to micros. Yeah, you're only switching to micros to become at your execution. You're not switching to micros to make more money. You're switching to
Right.
go back into the market, get back into that groove, and get back up from like the hole that you dig yourself. But again, not a lot of people do it. Oh, never mind. I got this. I'm just gonna give it a try
Right.
next week again. You know, and they don't switch. But when you switch to micros, in my opinion, after having a rough time, it really helps because you don't trade from your P&L anymore. You actually trade from the chart, which is what you
Yeah.
always have to do. But
Take some
when
of the
you're on a
pressure off.
full mini contract, yeah, you put the pressure off. Yes. When you trade on a full mini contract, a lot of people focus on the P&L, and that's the problem.
Very well said, gentlemen. Very well said. We are seeing gold take a dip here. I did see in the chat we got Dakota short from 23.36.60. We are currently trading 23.34.50. So in the money on realized right now. Coal or crude trying to take a turn to the upside here. We're just beneath $83, trading 82.92. Dow seeing some more sellers. Nasdaq seeing some more sellers. S&P seeing some more sellers as well. We do have
Yeah.
a tilt here in the Nasdaq of 75% short, so they are congruent. John, let's
Ooh.
get a Delta update real quick while we have a chance. We are seeing some sell pressure here in the equities, guys. Gold taking a
Yeah.
dip down lower too. I'm not sure what the correlations are right now. At least the equities are trading, are correlating together. Crude kind of doing its own thing. Gold taking a dip lower. What do we got for Delta there, John?
S&P is negative 5,900, NASDAQ
Okay.
negative 4,100. So still kind of congruent with direction, right?
It is. Yes, congruent with direction indeed. All right, gold seeing some more sellers here. Now trading 23.33. SSS says buy the ES at 86.5, 86.5. We still have some ways to go on that pullback. We'll keep that down. KV, your level of the NQ trading 17,620. 17,620. We are coming up to that. You want to see how the
Yep.
price reacts to 17,620?
Yep. We want to see how the price reacts there again. The way I see it, if that does not hold, there's not much support holding this until day low. Looks like a lot of people in the chat are short. Dakota is short as well.
Mhm. Tilt is short. We are at 17,620 as we speak, even 17,620, even. We are trading now. All right, we just pushed through. We are trading 15s now. We pushed through KV. This is exactly what you're talking about. What kind of if we can
And
get
and
some
this is
downside
this is
conviction? What are we
this
looking at
is
here,
the way
price wise?
we look at the volume. We look at volume as well. Not volume
Mm-hmm.
profile, which you guys love, the candlestick volume, right? What have we seen, right? So we have influxes of volume on the sell-offs, and whenever we have pullbacks like this, look at how the volume dies down.
It's
Just
lower,
shows you
right?
that the pullbacks, yeah, just shows you that the pullbacks are not strong
They're
enough to
weak.
actually make this reverse, right?
They're
So
feeble and
this is
weak.
just, yeah, another indicator I use to actually understand, is it really a bounce or is it just a short-term pullback? If we had seen, volume increase on the way up, maybe, we could have been looking for another move up. We didn't see that. As it was moving up, volume was just dying down, and then the influx of volume came back in on this sell-off right here. So buyers not strong. It's just one of those liquidity bounces as well. Just like we've been seeing all day, right? That was the first thing we talked about when we started the session. just slow moves up, slow moves down. Same thing's happening right now. We're not getting those aggressive, candles that we usually get.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, KV, you did
KV,
say
what
earlier
time
today.
frame is that chart?
Just going to ask that, John.
What happened? What was the question?
What time frame is the chart you're showing there?
1 minute. 1 minute. I have
1
the
minute.
5 minute as well on the
That's what
side,
I
but
thought.
what I'm
Got it.
showing here is the 1 minute. Yeah.
All right.
5
Well,
minute.
thank
Look,
you.
obviously the bigger the time frame, the better the confirmation. So I always like to have the 5 and the 15 and switch them. But for
it.
entries, I'm always on the 1 minute just because I need that perfect entry. I need that perfect entry.
Yeah, that's
the perfect
candy, and
entry, you
that's
say.
smart. It's smart.
KV, what does the perfect entry look like exactly for those that have never experienced the perfect entry? What does that look like for a KV?
The perfect entry.
What exactly does
The
a perfect entry
perfect,
for the KV look
yeah,
like? Yes, talk to us.
the perfect entry, and again, I'm always looking at the risk, right? So the perfect entry is the entry where you're closest to your stop loss as possible, right? So
What do you mean? What do you mean? Wait, explain that.
Love that.
so for
Love that.
example, yeah, so for example, if I'm open trade right here on the longs, right?
Mm-hmm.
My stop loss maybe is going to be below 620, which we talked about. So let's say around here, right? So this is the distance between your entry and your stop loss. Not the best in my opinion. And then maybe if you had something like this, too wide as well. So we want to be as close as possible to your stop loss. That way you're always keeping your losses small. We took actually a NASDAQ play yesterday. This was with options, but we took basically going back to yesterday morning, we took this bounce right here. So the 951 bounce. And this was our entry. Like our entry was at the view up. So the stop loss was literally this here. So exactly at the stop loss, the upside was day high, which was 3x or probably 4x the stop loss. So like for me, this was enough. Like I was happy with this. We touched day high. We made a new day high actually, and we cut that view up bounce. Now the bad loss or a bad entry would be if I waited for a day high break, I entered somewhere up here, and then my stop loss was view up down here. Like that's
Yes.
a complete bad entry. And in this, in this example, yesterday it looks like it could have worked because it never went there, but it's just too wide. It's too wide. It doesn't make sense. So again, my perfect entry is the entry where you're as close to your stop loss as possible. That's the way I'll put it. Not focusing on a strategy or something that's just as close to your stop loss as possible. That will make again, that would help your account so much because again, you're eliminating the worst thing. You're eliminating the big losses. You have big wins. What we talked about as well, I think last week. Big wins, small wins, and then small losses, and that's all you need. You don't eliminate small losses. You keep them there. It's your friend, the small losses.
Very good. Excellent. John, you love that answer. Why'd you love it so much? I saw you nodding your head. And you said, I love it. Why'd you love it so much?
Yeah.
Managing your risk, cheap trades. What made you love it so much?
Because he's right. I mean, KV, have you ever told people to think about the invalidation point for the trade and then put in your entry?
Yes, 100%.
Right?
100%. If you
I mean,
don't,
it's
if you,
all
if you
about
don't
risk
think of that,
management.
then you don't. Yeah, if you don't think of that, then you don't have a plan. The plan is not only the target points. That's half of the plan. So
Yeah, I mean, that's
the problem. Everyone just focuses. Okay, I'm gonna enter here and then sell here, enter here, sell here, but you're missing
right.
the other half.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Managing your
and
downside.
I mean, you get better trade location when you focus on where the risk is. If price has to auction to this level to prove the trade wrong, where's the best place I can get in? Where's the closest place that I might be able to get into this trade? And you try and get it. If you miss it, you miss it. But I've missed a lot of good trades, but
Yep.
It's all about the risk.
Exactly. There's a question in the chat. What's this yellow line which we're bouncing off of? Which again was that 620 level we're talking about. This is one of the concepts that Brandon Shannon was talking about today. Actually, the anchored view up. This is, if I'm not mistaken, right now I think I've placed there a 2-day view up, so it's anchored either the day before or 2 days before. But yeah, it's like Brandon Shannon. I love Brandon Shannon as well. So It's
was
the
that?
concept of anchored view up. Yep.
How
So
good was
that's
that?
it. Either, I mean, you can check it, either a 2-day or a 1-day view up. It's the yellow one there.
Yes, how good was that? I'm glad you watched that, KV. You're watching all the way from Albania. We got Kevin watching us. John, did the books arrive? Did Amazon drop that off yet?
The doorbell went when Brian was speaking. I'm like, there it
Come
is.
on.
There it is.
Come
There's
on.
the book.
Yeah.
There it is.
I'm not kidding
I
you.
have, I don't like physical books, John, but I've read it on my
Online.
iBooks on my phone. Yeah, I have it as well. I actually got it exactly when it got published last year, literally
Oh,
on the
nice.
first week it got published.
Oh, KV's trying to one up us with when he read the book, John. KV got it first there. KV, do you ever do
Yep, no,
audiobooks?
it's
Just a side question. KV, do you believe in audiobooks? And if you do an audiobook, is that considered reading the book? What are your thoughts?
honestly, I'm not a fan of it because
Fair enough.
I mean, I hear people say, okay, you're at the gym, put a podcast on, or listen to an audiobook, or while you're driving. I don't think you have your full attention. So, in my opinion, I think it's just a waste of time. Maybe I'm gonna get backlash for this, but I feel like it's a waste of time. I'd rather just listen to some music and enjoy my gym session
Very
than put
good.
an audiobook that I'd probably have to re-listen or reread when I get back home as well, because I probably only captured 1% of it.
Fair enough. Nice answer. Nice answer. All right, KV. We
So
talked about the 17,620 level. We did take a dip beneath it, but we did find some buyers below. I don't know if those were stops getting triggered or what, but we do see that wick beneath the 620s. Now we're trading about 633, 632. So how do we digest this? Okay, so we saw how the market reacted to that level, and we're kind of just hovering around these 633s. What do we do next in terms of what would you be looking to do in order to execute a trade or get in the market or just sit on your hands for that matter?
yep. Okay, so going back to the view up concepts as well. I talk about this a lot. Whenever you're on a one directional day, which that's what we have today mainly, it's still, we have this rally, but I mean, we're still downtrending overall. And then the view up rejection that we saw here as well just shows us that sellers are strong. I mean, this uptrend, if we actually held view up and broke, I mean, we could have seen day high very easily. But because we had this rejection here, this failure to continue higher, it just shows me that sellers are in control right now. So would I be comfortable taking a bounce play because 620 held? Not that much. Again, if you want to test it out and enter with a light size, sure, right? But I wouldn't put this onto my A++ setups just because we're going against, the sellers, which sellers are dominant today. Um, Again, could work. The zone is there. The demand is definitely there. I don't think we're going to get an aggressive move though. Even if we get an uptrend, it might just be one of those slow uptrends which we've had all day. And even this looks like it's already failing, right? I mean, nothing's happening. So I would prefer the upset. As much as I love that 620 area, because we have view up, and then we had the morning demand there as well, like close here, right? 640. So it's a whole demand zone, 620 to 640.
Yes.
But still, I mean, it's not a buyer's day, unfortunately.
John, I think you would agree with that. I think you were saying you're looking more to the bearish side as well. Basically, I think it's
100%.
kind of agreeing with what KV was saying there, John.
Yeah, 100%.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
The view up is different, guys, on Topstep X, and there might be an update coming as well, because I keep the view up on regular trading hours, meaning it's connected on New York session only. Topstep X right now only has electronic hours, so it shows you, all markets. But I think there's an update soon coming where you can switch it on and off if you want to just see regular trading or also electronic hours. I prefer the New York session. If you as the update is happening, the easiest thing you can do, guys, is X, go to the trading tools, which is similar to what you have here on Trading View, and there should be, like, where is it here? Somewhere here. So you should have this anchored view up tool right here, which you can do it manually. Click the anchored view up, and then click it on the first candle of the day at 9:30 New York time, and you're gonna get the same view up I see here as well. Okay, so as it's being updated.
Love
Oh, yeah,
that.
it's New York
All right.
session.
Well, we are still
and we're
trading bit
failing to
sideways.
continue higher.
Yes.
It's we are getting the higher lows there, but again, it's just very, very slow. I couldn't imagine myself being in an open position right now. I just can't.
Well, if you want to know
It's
right now,
literally like it's literally like a Christmas tree. Green, red, green, red, green, red. It's
I like that. I like
Right.
that. Well, we got
And a
about 600 open
barcoding.
positions. 600 open positions here in the Nasdaq, give or take, and 54% of them are short right now. So that is something to keep track of. But there are some open positions there based on the tilt. John, we're just hanging around 5100s. We are going to watch this 1620 level in the Nasdaq. We are trading 1640 right now. Maybe we're able to catch a long off of that. John, okay, let's talk about the from the previous segment or the power players segment. What are you looking forward to most getting out of this book, real quick? Because I'm super. People in the chat are wondering what book. Can you remind people what book you purchased, John?
Yeah, it's Ryan Shannon's Maximum Trading Gains with Anchored VWAP. Anchored VWAP. So what do I want to get out of it? Well, I kind of collect trading books for one, but I am certainly going to read this because just the things that I've heard about it, the things I've learned about it. Anne Marie is a big fan of VWAP, and I figure the more I learn, the more I can get confluence with some of the other things that I look at, and I'm always looking to find those confluences. Anne Marie is saying right there, it's easily one of the best trading books she's ever read, and she's written a
Yep,
couple.
I agree.
So
I agree with
that
it.
says
I
a
agree
lot.
with it as
Wow,
well.
KV agrees. Wow.
I
Right.
agree with it as well. I don't. I I don't know. Maybe I'm gonna get backlash for this too, but I hate trading books. I hate them because there's two problems with it.
What is
Either
it?
one, it's a bunch of stories that it helps you a little bit understand the industry and so on, but doesn't help you in terms of execution. And two, the ones that talk about technical stuff just doesn't make sense either. There's no action steps there. And that's the reason I like that book, and the books that I've kind of written for the people that we mentor. I've tried to make as much as actionable steps as possible. And Ben Shannon's book does that as well. It shows you, okay, here's how this would work, here's how it would work, gives you charts, examples, all of it. There's not many books like that. It's not. I've read a lot, even before before going to college. I mean, even on college, I took an options class back in college. There was nothing
Oof.
about it, how to trade options, or it was just some stuff that never actually even helped me, not whatsoever. I think, and I did good in college, guys. I did good in college. I think I got it like a 378 GPA. I
Wow.
finished, and options was I think one of my worst classes. I think I got a B plus in options
Look at the
because it
big,
was,
Oh,
I don't know, it
big
didn't
brain
make
on
sense
KV.
whatsoever.
slacking.
It
You got
didn't
a B
ever.
plus in options. You were slacking, KV. What
No, I
happened?
literally got I got the class. I remember, class for an EZA because I was like, I'm already trading options. I know what the asset class is. I know how, the Greeks move and how the premiums are moving and so on. Didn't make sense whatsoever what was being taught there. So, again, there's a lot of good books out there. Will they help you with trading? Not a lot of them. There's just a lot of definitions, a lot of histories, a lot of, I don't know, but not actionable steps. That's the problem with it.
I love that. Well, this is what we do here at Topstep TV. We do bring you actionable steps with real trades, real
You do.
P&Ls, real accounts, real traders. You're looking at some of the best real traders in the game right here. We got John Hogle in the middle. We got KV up top there, who's visiting us from his home country, Albania. He called it in the green room, just a quick trip to Albania. But his
Quick
home
trip.
base is
Yeah, I'm
in.
coming back to New York Tuesday, so it's a quick trip. It's not
Quick
nothing's
trip.
crazy.
Yes, you. Rockstar
Gonna
says
take
KV
it
is
easy.
one smart guy. We got Gold Goblin saying everything
Yep.
KV says I agree with. Man, KV, they love you here, man.
Uh,
That's good stuff.
You-
Really like to
I
see
You're
that.
gonna
love you
take a
John,
guys
visit
too.
to the.
what
You
do
take
we
a
got, John?
visit to the Adriatic while you're there, KV.
Ooh.
I wish I didn't have that much time. Plus, it's not summer period. If it was a summer,
Ah,
100%
yes.
yes. I mean,
Ah, yes.
I'd probably be on TopstepTV with you guys on the beach right now. But
Oh, Oh, I think the ladies would like that. The ladies would
Not the
like that
time.
very
Maybe
much.
after a month or two.
Yes. KV, if you don't mind taking a quick look at the ES and pull up some levels for us as we head into power hour here. I'm going to buy some time while you do that. But yes, we got your NASDAQ levels here at 17,620. You're saying if we can break that and we can see a move down to 17,567, lows of the day. We are kind of dealing and chopping around that level trade 16,000, 17,000. Get that out. 17,630. So we're going to look to see a break beneath 620. But if you wouldn't mind taking a look at the S&Ps, we are trading 5100s. There seems to be a big magnet on that level. Going into power hour, KV, what are you looking at going to S&Ps? Give us some levels. If we can break through level, what would you target from there?
Okay, so it looks like, I mean, what we've been doing lately is just bouncing up between these zones that I have here. So we had obviously New York session opening price, and then we had S1 and S2, which we kind of ranged here and then finally broke. Now we are again in this area. This is New York session view up right here. What I'm looking to see here is this. If we do have a 5-minute candle closing above this view up right here, I'd be more than likely to entertain the longs here on the ES. Give that a shot because the risk is very tight, right? So if a 5-minute candle closes above the view up, the risk should be the zone here. So S1, and I have this M level here, so maybe 5100. If it doesn't hold 5100, you're out. So you have a tight risk compared to the upside, which you might be going for these highs back to opening price. So that's the upside. And then downside, I would just say this low, which is again key for ES as well. It's the same low for NASDAQ. I think with this next trend that we're going to the downside right here, if that doesn't hold this time, which probability of that happening might be high because usually the second test is much weaker because liquidity has already gone a little bit here. So it's going to be much weaker the second time we retest it. So if we can actually break through that, not just retest and, oh my God, it tested this level, I'm getting it short.
Sure.
Actually wait for a confirmation and actually wait for a little bit of a drop. Next stop is obviously S2, which is the day low area. That's my two, first scenarios.
Right, so
I never tried to predict, so you gotta look at both sides.
No predictions. You see what happens when people predict like Jim Cramer, it just never really works out for you.
Yeah. Oh my God.
So I guess trade idea here is take a long above 5106, 5107 above VWAP with a stop around 5100s for move to the upside. Now since we're trading the lower end of this 5-minute range, perhaps a short beneath 5094 ish with a target to 5082. Am I summarizing that properly?
Yes, 5083, 5082. That's a zone at the bottom.
All right, great. So we got a trade idea from KV. Longs above 5106, above VWAP. Stop at 5100. Shorts beneath 5094, 5093. Great. I appreciate that, KV. All right, we got 5 minutes left here in Patience with KV. All right, let's remind everyone why this segment is called Patience with KV. KV, how many trades? I know you've been traveling this week. How many trades have you taken this week? How many trades have you and your group taken this week?
Yeah, it's not many. Like I only took 2 futures and 2 option trades this week.
Amazing.
I think that's enough, especially traveling. And again, the markets haven't been the best either, but it's been going well. As long as you're just waiting for those right opportunities and not just opening trades like a machine gun, out, and then it's crazy. And you look at your commission as well. TopstepX is better, obviously, but if you're trading like Tradeovate and you look at your commission, you're like, oh my God, what's going on?
Right. I'm sitting here
like
wondering.
when that happens. Sorry, Hard. When that happens, sometimes you end the day $200 up, and then you also pay $200 in commission as well. So like your profit is the same as the commission.
Yep. I'm sitting here wondering what kind of words you're going to give all our viewers at the end of the session today, because last week's was so good.
Right.
It was so good.
I don't think I have the same one as last week. Last week was
risk,
a one to remember.
Something about being wise. If you're wrong, you get wisdom. If you're right, you can get money or something like that. You get something like that. Yes, John, great callback.
Last week was take the risk. If you win, you're gonna be.
You'll
What
be
was it?
happy.
I even forgot it myself. Take the risk. If you lose,
Yeah.
you're gonna be wise. If you win, you'll be
You'll be
happy.
happy.
Something like that.
That's
Yeah.
it. That was,
Great stuff.
that's
Well, we
going to
got
be a
3
tough one to
minutes.
beat.
Yes, it is, John. That was a great callback, John. Forgot about that one. Great callback. I forgot whoever our guest was following you. You even had his mind blown for the guest after that. So that was really cool. All right, KV, we got about 2-3 minutes left here in Patience with KV. Again, thank you for joining us way over in Albania. We really appreciate it. Have safe travels to London when you do venture on over there. Quick question. You said you got a new office location coming up. Where is the office going? Where was the office and where's the office going? Just general neighborhoods.
No, we're staying in New York. We're staying in New York, unfortunately. But it's an upgrade that needed to happen. I am another like let's end it this way. This session. So I am getting engaged in May. So it's a big move. Moving in with my fiance,
Congratulations.
new office, new apartment. It's a lot of things happening.
Wow. So wait, you are getting engaged or you are engaged? Does she know? Have you
Well,
proposed to her? Have you proposed to her yet?
No, yes, that's done. Yeah, that's done. It's so
Okay,
yes,
that's done. She said yes. She said
officially.
yes. Yes. Congratulations, KV. Big life changes. Moving on up. Everyone congratulate KV in the chat. The man is taken. Sorry, ladies. We'll have to move on to the next one.
No,
A smaller
and-
trader
and
out of New York. Look at take the glasses off.
talking about patience as well. And maybe this is a lesson to a lot of the people in the chat as well. I was in this relationship for 9 years before we actually made it.
9 years.
So 9 years of
Pressure was
patience.
on. Pressure was on.
You beat me. I was in a relationship for 8 years before I got married, so I was
one
very
year
patient
over.
too. Yeah.
Well, congratulations. Both of those ladies were very lucky to marry and about to marry some very, very great guys. Congratulations, KV. John, thank you so much for joining me. Thanks for making me laugh in the green room with that Wisconsin joke. Much needed, man. Really appreciate that. We are moving on to Power Hour next. We got some trade ideas. KV, I think you left with some words of wisdom. John, I'm going to put you on the spot. Do we have any words of wisdom?
I'm ready for you.
Oh,
I'm ready
sweet.
for you.
Hit me.
A mind is like a parachute. It doesn't work if it's not open.
Wow. KV, he got you on that one. KV, that was pretty good.
I gotta come back. I gotta come back next week.
Well done. Well done. Thank you, gentlemen. I appreciate your time.
That's not mine. That's Frank Zappa. Frank Zappa said that.
Good music, man. Good music. All right, we got Power Hour coming up with Coach Dakota coming up next. Thank you, gentlemen. We will see you guys in a few short minutes. Thank you.